Hello and welcome back, guys, gals, and N pals, monarchs of all or no genders. I am your host D, also known as MtF DOOM. Welcome back. It is Brewsday. Today we are brewing with Legion and Mirage. We got 4 decks. I hope that you enjoy. Just before we get into it, as always, a big thank you to everyone who supports, everyone who especially joins the Discord, especially the Patreon. I have a Patreon link down below. It's $1 a month. That's it. And you can help me hit 300 subscribers. We're so close. And then I'm going to shift the goalpost and ask for 500. You know how it is. We are incorrigible, us YouTubers, of which I am a big one. Thank you so much. Okay. If you don't know, Brewsday is the weekly video where we talk about different brews, different non-meta deck. A brew just sort of in this context being a non-meta deck. Some of these probably are going to become meta, or at this point kind of are, although I've put these together over the last week, so at the time they might not have been. We're going to start with our 2 Legion decks. So first up we have Global Warming. So this is the meme Legion deck. Basically, if you ever wanted to play Galactus, but like me, you absolutely fucking refuse to spend 6,000 tokens on Galactus, what you're going to do with this deck is all you're really trying to do is Storm on turn 4, and then follow it up with Legion on 5. And interestingly, there's a location that will turn into another one of the locations on turn 4, and you might have noticed this. I forget the name of that location, but basically it says on turn 4 turn into one of your other locations. If you Storm on 3 and then that location turns into flooding on 4, it will remain flooding on 5. It does not turn into flooded. So the location doesn't work like that. Interestingly, Legion does work like that. If you Legion a flooding that is going to close that turn, it becomes flooded like it quote unquote like it should. I don't know why those interactions are different. I actually don't have confirmation. The location that does that might actually have been changed with the Legion change, or with Legion coming out and working that way. I don't have confirmation, but Legion works the way you are probably expecting it to work. Like, you know, your human brain thinks of these things not like a machine. And so Legion will turn them all into flooded at the end of turn 5. If you go Storm on 4, Legion on 5. I don't have Jeff, so I am using Doom is good. I also just have this sick ink Doom, so I'm playing Doom. It would probably be Jeff instead of like Maximus. But ultimately, we have Maximus because, you know, if we're closing everything out and they don't get a turn 6, the cards they draw might just not matter. In a lot of ways, they won't matter. We have Lizard for kind of the same reason. It's really, really hard for them to put 4 cards into a lane when they don't even have all 6 turns. Wave mostly is just there for, like, if we want to stop them. So we're going to go Wave on 3, Storm on 4, and that's like kind of a weak turn 4, but we've usually stopped them from having a really big turn 4, right? And then Legion on 5, but it's also for if we just don't have this, Wave is fine against the bounce deck or the Kitty Pryde Bishop type decks. And also, like, if we don't have the Storm Legion combo, we can always Dr. Doom early, and we can always Wave on 5, follow it up with like a Doom, and then have our Cyclops, Sunspot, and Misty Knight all trigger, because this is also a high Evo deck. If you don't have high Evo, I don't know that this deck is going to work. In very, very honest terms, I don't know what I would swap in for Misty Knight and Cyclops. Those are just like really, really good, especially if you're going for the full lockout. Honestly, one of these could even be, if we're running Wave, Maximus could also be Hulk. if we're doing high evo stuff, but ultimately this deck is just kind of a meme. I'm probably going to only put like maybe one highlight cuz like you know what happens. The deck works, you Legion, and then you both sit there and go, ha, I won, ha ha, and your opponent goes, oh, I lost, retreat, and that's it. Like, the game ends, right? Like, you don't really need me to explain more than that. So we'll get into probably one highlight, and then I'll see you at the next deck. Alright. Really wish we could start with the cards we wanted in our hand, but let's, oh, interesting. I think I'm willing to do this. Okay, alright opponent, what you got? Huh. Perhaps I think we're going to Maximus here because we have priority and we can kind of stop them from, like, if they're going to add 2 cards here, they might not. Yeah, no. All right, so we need, I would really love, please, and also perhaps thank you. I guess Nebula's technically better. I would really love a Legion right now. Please. Maybe the opponent will do it for us? Huh? Oh my god. They Enchantress their own Zabu for us. Hell yeah. Alright, I mean, I guess it's probably more worth to do like that. It's worth, yeah, it's worth 1 extra power. And then we'll still be able to add a Doombot to the left by moving Nightcrawler out. Oh no! So will they. But I think that wins it for us anyway, right? Because we go like that. And then like that. And Nebula ends up winning us the right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what else they could have, but like a Dino doesn't do it. Killmonger probably does it. But I don't know how likely they are to have Killmonger if they're running Kitty Pryde, but yeah, alright, cool. Good enough. Good enough. Alright, so next up, we have our second Legion deck. This one is We All Become, because it's just trying to make all of the locations into the same one, which is what Legion is not trying to cheese. This deck is, you can tell, it's just a mid-range deck. We're playing some interaction stuff, Spider-Ham. We get to play, interestingly, we get to play Medusa here, because even if the middle location sucks for the first 5 turns, there's a chance that we can change it and make it into something that we can play into. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, Luke Cage is just good into all the negative power locations. So, like, why not make, you know, on the chance that one of those flips up, even as something like a sewer system, it's like, okay, cool. Well, like, they're all sewer systems now. And our deck just isn't affected by that. Fucking awesome. Super cool. Great. Love it. We have Spider-Ham as some interaction. Again, we played Lizard in the last version of this deck because it was hard for them to fill the flooded location quick enough to turn Lizard's plus power off. In this one, we're playing it because we play Enchantress. So we can just Enchantress the Lizard if worst comes to absolute worst. But we also have Killmonger. So again, if they play a 1-drop and then you play Lizard against that 1-drop, you always kind of have the option of Killmongering, right? Barring them like playing armor or something. You kind of always have the option to reclaim that -4 if they go for the full fill. And so that's like, there's a lot of value in Killmonger and Enchantress with a Lizard. We have Shang, obviously just like the go-to tech card. And we're just using Legion as another tech card with a reasonable stat line. I like this one a lot better. There's a lot more interesting things you can do with this. Oh, and then like it's a Zabu Darkhawk deck because why not? So we got Rock Slide and Darkhawk just because, you know, on 6 we might, like, usually your best play on turn 6 is one of your tech cards plus Darkhawk, right? Because Darkhawk will be like a 4/10 whatever, and then you've also taken out, like, you know, 9+ power on their side or whatever, and ultimately, like, that just wins you a lot of games. So yeah, there's a lot more cool stuff that can happen with this deck. You do have to be careful. You don't want to Enchantress your own Darkhawk, obviously, and you don't want to Enchantress your own Cage. You don't have to worry. If you hit Zabu on turn 6, that doesn't matter, and if you hit Lizard on turn 6, it's good. But be careful, especially around your Cage and Darkhawk, and that's one of the reasons that this deck probably isn't going to end up in the meta, like, as a tier 1, but I really like this one. I like it way more than the last version of the Legion deck. Let's get into some gameplay. Alright, I mean, you can't really go wrong with a Korg and a Darkhawk, I don't think. Also, Shang with Nidavellir is really good. So let's just get it started. Our wish list is something like a Zabu and a Rock Slide. I mean, there's part of our wish list. I think I will take that. Though Darkhawk, it can be tricky or even, like, not a great play sometimes to deploy Darkhawk on 3. Oh my god, they're doing us a favor. Okay. Actually, you know what? Maybe, no. So the thing is, they're playing armor. Let's do... There's a chance we Enchantress plus Shang this lane if what they're trying to do is, like, something that ends with a Taskmaster. But we can also just Shang the Taskmaster, so maybe we don't want a Darkhawk then. Right? Because we're not trying to fight this lane. We're trying to fight a different lane. I'm not really sure. Alright, I've decided on this. On the understanding. So it's definitely... They're definitely trying to... No, they can't Taskmaster. Ooh, 0 could be really bad for us. In fact, it seems like it's going to be... Wait. Get back here. I didn't want to play you. We'll just... You know what? That's fine. Killmonger. We didn't really want Killmonger going off anyway. Oh, is this just an ongoing destroy deck? That's interesting. Okay. Then do we Legion at all? Or do we just Rock Slide? I think we'll just Rock Slide. And now we have Shang and Darkhawk. Now, it's possible if we draw Enchantress that the play is actually to Enchantress plus Shang. Oh, no. Alright, so if they Spectrum Center... No, I think we're fine. Oh, no. So if they Spectrum anywhere... like, something like that wins. But if they Destroyer... something like this, I think also wins? Because they have to Spectrum Center, so they're only adding... Yeah, because I think this beats Spectrum or Destroyer, which are the two big ones. It also beats Claw. Yeah, hell yeah. Because they're going to go up to 20 if they... Yep. So that's fine. They win right, but we win center and left. Fantastic. Mathed it out, baby. Mathed it out. Alright, now we are getting into the Mirage decks. So Mirage is Cable, but good. That's not fair. I like Cable a lot. But Mirage is 2/2. On reveal, copy the lowest cost card in your opponent's hand into your hand. Give it +2 power. This, obviously, is good with Collector. You couldn't help but it be good with Collector. So we're doing Collector Dino stuff. This deck is also a Zabu deck because we are trying to, some of the time if we go Dino on 5, and we kind of have had an awkward hand and we don't have a lot of like stuff in it, you can go like Shang plus Nick Fury on 6 to put 3 cards back in for Dino and destroy one of their things. You can go obviously Moon Girl on 6 plus something else, you know, sort of same thing. Moon Girl Shang is the same kind of thing, like just putting a bunch of cards into your hand for Dino. Obviously the Moon Girl and then Dino again is amazing. We're running Quinjet so that along the way, any Sentinels, Mirage hits, Agent Coulson, Moon Girl, Nick Fury, or White Queen, literally nothing, you know, anything we draw off any of these, we're not playing, who is it? Maria Hill adds a 1 or 2 cost. So that's kind of quote unquote a miss for Quinjet, because if it hits a 1, you don't get a discount. I guess Mirage can kind of quote unquote miss. It's a not a bad miss, but the next deck will actually take advantage of Mirage hitting 1 costs as well, which is cool. Spoilers. And then we have just some disruptive pieces. Iceman, Chang. That's it. Yeah, Iceman and Chang. Ultimately, this deck is kind of exactly what you expect of a Mirage deck. I think most people are going to slot Mirage in to any deck where they were playing Cable and then learned that Cable wasn't that good, and now they'll play Mirage instead, which is a fine use of this card. I think this is kind of the bog standard one. It's almost not even a brew. This is like stale beer instead. It's not even really a brew. It's non-alcoholic. This is non-alcoholic beer instead of a brew, because this shit is like the most bog standard version of this list. So we'll get into like maybe one highlight of the deck just working, and then we'll get into the spicier version of this deck. I like this so far. I like this a little less so far. Come on. Come on, game. Oh my god, it keeps getting worse. Alright, let's just Collector into White Queen. See what they're doing. We'll see what they're doing next turn, because nothing gets revealed this turn. We're going to end up not even drawing anything off of this. Fucking hilariously. You know what? I like this better. I like this better. I think they're going to win Asgard. If I had to guess, they're going to win Asgard. So they do. But the thing is, we could do that. And that might be enough to just win Lemuria. Because, like, if their plan is to Heimdall, this makes it more awkward. If their plan is to Ghost Spider, they have to do that right now because they just played the 2099. And ultimately, I think this sets us up to win center and right. And in fact, I think it does it well enough that I'm going to snap. That's what I think. Okay, I mean, that's all really good for us, right? Like, how do they win? How do they win center? If they move everything. If they move anything, how do they win? We have 6 in hand. So if we do... Yeah, okay, they know there's no chance. Hell yeah. Alright, alright. Mojo World, fine. Onslaught Citadel, good. We do still have to actually find the cards that are good into it, but we have Dino. That's something. Oh, they're the same deck, aren't they? We've seen a bunch of this today. Okay, okay. We're good. We're good. Quinjet. I mean, they already have their collector out, so Luke's Bar is going to be good for them if they know the trick, but they might not. I guess, you know what? Actually, is this worth it? That might not be. Oh, you know what? Okay. So I'll show y'all the trick. Here it is. Here's the trick. Okay, you get another collector. Fucking enjoy it. Hands full. Nick Fury stays. Hell yeah. We love this. And then we'll Devil Dino. And then we'll, oh, we can't Living Tribunal because we'll lose Mojo World. Fuck. These only cost 4, though. Yeah, you win. You win Mojo World. I'm fine with that. Like, I don't know if you're gonna win the other ones, is what I'm getting at. And we go like that. And that adds another 4, because Moon Girl will again fill our hand. Yeah, I like this. What did they do? Okay. They also filled their hand. But then a Misty Knight's not enough. Hell yeah. Wait, they're playing... Wait. Is that just a... That's just a vanilla... Oh, Maria Hill. Okay. Alright. And finally... Actually, I have a bonus list. I don't know that I'm going to get any gameplay with it, but I do have one more after this for you. We have John Cena, because it's a Mirage and they never see it coming. This is my... I mean, if you followed the channel for any amount of time, you know that this is my kind of a list. So it is the Angela Bishop Hitmonkey list, right? We have Collector, because it gets buffed by not just Mirage, but also Kitty Pryde, Beast, and Falcon. And we can... In the last list, we said, oh, well, if we hit a 1-drop, like, we can cast it. Like, it's no problem that we can cast it if we hit a 1-drop off Mirage. But it doesn't really give us any additional value. Well, this list, not only do we get the 1-drop that we get from them, but we can theoretically possibly cast it multiple times using either Falcon or Beast. This is something I already know, but that a lot of people who haven't navigated this deck for a really long time might want to keep an eye out. So they technically nerfed Hitmonkey. It is a nerf. There's no way around it, to a 3/2. All that really means for us is that fairly often we're going to play Hitmonkey kind of naked on turn 3 and then try to play, like, you know, maybe Mirage Kitty Pryde on 4, something, you know, some kind of, like, awkward set of cards, and you want to play Hitmonkey on either 3 or 4, and then on 5 you want a Beast, and you want to get Hitmonkey plus some other thing back to your hand. In an ideal world, it's going to be something like Kitty Pryde, or the Demon. Not the... If you do the turn 5 play, you don't want the Hood coming back to your hand unless it got basted. Listen, it's a whole complex tree of branching paths of play. It's a really cool deck. This is, like, maybe one of my favorite decks, and I like that Mirage slots into it, and I don't even know if this is the optimal, like, card to have here, because I was playing Cable and I was playing Maria Hill in this deck, and, like, they're all kind of fine, but I like... Mirage adds the most power, and you want the lowest cost card. Like, that's what this deck actually wants. So I think it's going to be better than either of those, because it's, on average, more power than Maria Hill, and on average a lower cost than Cable, and it does both of them at the same time. So that's where it really shines, and I think it's really going to shine in this deck. So we're going to get into some gameplay, and then I'll give you the bonus deck, but I don't think I have gameplay for it. We can start with Iceman, I think. Obviously, you want to get Kitty Pryde rolling, but she's more important to be adding power to Collector, Angela, and Bishop than she is as her own, like, entity. Ooh. This is kind of awkward. Because we want to start deploying... No, we're fine. We're fine. Yeah, that is good for them because we kind of knew they were the move destroy deck. Otherwise, they would not have played Human Torch left in general. You know what? We can play Bishop first and go Collector Kitty Pryde next turn. And let them just win. Get really frustrated because we're not going to play there. I like that. I think we do like that. Do we bat? We might... You know what? We'll bast over there. Oh, no, because we don't want a beast. We don't want a beast on 5. Oh, you know what? We don't want a beast on 5. So we bast... Oh, you know what? We actually bast here. Because it'll just get destroyed and we don't care about it. They can have beast on turn 6. As probably the worst card they could possibly have. So they could have it. That's totally fine. We really don't want to see... I think just a Nimrod would be kind of bad. But anything else is kind of fine. We can give them... We can give them an Iceman, I suppose. And we'll play it like that. So they'll get the Iceman. And we'll just get something better, right? Like... Kitty Pryde's going to bounce back. Phoenix Force is... Oh, is multiple man, right? No, it's not anything. Because it didn't get... Nothing got destroyed. You goofy fuck. Alright, so you can... I think we got it, right? We just go like that? I'm pretty sure this does it. They can't even move Phoenix Force because it didn't destroy anything. And it literally only gains the ability to move if it destroyed something. Did they draw Shang? No, Chavez. Okay. I kind of figured Chavez was their 12th card, but glad to be proven right. All right, and here we have the bonus deck. I really like... Okay, so it is again a Darkhawk Zabu deck, but we're also playing the Dinosaur, and Mystique works really well with both of those, right? So Mystique hitting either Devil Dino or Darkhawk is like really good. We also have Agent Coulson to sometimes high roll into a 4 or 5 that Mystique can copy. And in general, this deck is just like kind of... It's quite a mid-range deck. It kind of high rolls. It can have kind of awkward hands. So I don't know that I recommend this one even for a brew, but I also just really love both Darkhawk and Collector, and it's like fairly rare to have a deck that can run both of them. And I think this is as close as I've gotten, but like, you know, I think the deck is just really fucking cool, and I value that quite a lot, especially on Brewsday. So there's that. We're gonna jump to either, if I end up getting gameplay footage for this one, some highlights, or the end credits, and I'll see you there. Alright, so we saw this deck while we were recording our other matches, and I really like it. We didn't see the whole 12, but we saw Mirage, Darkhawk, Rockslide, and I assume that it must look something like this. This is at least what I put together. So the deck just seemed really cool. I didn't know if I was going to. I know I. Oh, damn. Wave. I don't know if I love that. Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to do this or not, but honestly, like, the deck just seems so cool. I know I added it to my list. I had said I only had 4, but actually I had 5. But I think I gotta play it. It just seems fucking sweet. Alright. I mean, honestly, all this is, like, pretty fine. I assume if they have Wave, which they do, that... Oh, okay. That's cool. It's an Agatha deck. 4 like that? Or do we go 4 like that? Maybe it's more worth to keep growing collector to, because as soon as we beat Sif, yeah. So we have their highest cost, which is Gamora. So probably just Gamora back. Gamora on them. That's fine. Swing and a miss, bud. Like, that's just enough, right? Chavez just beating Gamora is probably enough. Like, if they can put something bigger than 7 on the left, they can take it, but then they don't take mid. Yeah, Shangus Changus, you got it. Hell yeah. We'll take it. We'll take it. Thank you all so much for making it this far. I appreciate you all so much. I appreciate especially a special thanks to the following: The Tiny Ruby, A Frog in a Tent, Clips, Crayon Eater, Cole D, Polyhaze, Satorius, Demisi, KD, Diston Nelson, and Matt Backey. These people have all donated their time, their money, their effort, or all of the above to keeping this channel going, to supporting me in whatever way they are able. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone who watches. I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.